Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're in rush hour, headed to St. Paul, Minnesota.
One of the Twin Cities.
That's right. Now, usually we talk about either home brewers or professional brewers.
But today we're going to go visit a place where you can do something a little in the middle.
That's right. It is a brewery, Vine Park Brewery, where you can go and brew your own beer.
Let's go check it out.
My name is Dan Justison, and I'm one of the co-owners of Vine Park Brewing Company, which is probably the oldest and most successful brew on-premise operation in the United States. Originally opened up in October of 1995, and we're here in St. Paul, Minnesota, and we're open, depending on the part of the year, 5 or 6 days a week, and we help people brew beer, make wine, and we also are a licensed microbrewery, so we brew beer for sale in growlers for you to take home.
As you're looking at your recipe sheet, there is the one other section down at the bottom that says other ingredients.
Our customers are people who want to come in and have a good time. So we set them up with an appointment to come in and brew beer. They can brew one batch up to 6 batches, so we do corporate events. But generally it's families and friends who want to get out and have a good time. They can pick from about 60 different beer recipes. They come in, they're with us for about 90 minutes during the brew process. They come back 2 weeks later, and then they spend about an hour to 2 hours bottling up their beer, depending on how much they've made.
Honestly, it looks like rabbit food.
This is a place where they can come in and experiment with it in a very safe environment. We guarantee every batch will turn out. So 90% of our job is watching their hands to make sure they don't touch or do something they shouldn't. But we let them do as much as we can. We, and my phrasing is, when they leave, we take care of the messy, smelly stuff for them, make sure everything is sanitized and proper and gets through the right way. And then when they come back, we let them do the fun part of bottling and capping and sampling and quality control. And some of those people then go on to become home brewers. A lot of them don't. They're really just about the fact that they get to do something fun with their friends and family. They get the same amount of beer they would have gone to the liquor store and paid the same amount of money for, but yet they had 2 nights of fun.
We used to do it as part of getting together with buddies, and friend's dad, when we were in college, got us into it, and we brewed that way until we kind of just disbanded after college. We didn't keep it up, but this is a real convenient way to do it without having all the equipment, keeping it clean, and doing all that. So this coming here is pretty easy to do.
It's like some good caramel flavor.
We do get a lot of ex-home brewers. People who come and said, you know, I used to do it, but I just don't have time for the mess and the setup, and the wife won't let me, and I boiled over on the stove, and then she kicked me out to the garage, and so now they're back here, and they come in and they get to have that feeling of making their beer. They get fresh, unpasteurized beer. They're spoiled, and so we have a very regular client base. And again, some of them are ex-home brewers, some are future home brewers, but the great majority are just people who want to have good, fresh beer. And, as home brewers, you all understand that. We don't sell beer. We don't sell wine. We sell coming in and having fun. Our adventure is what we provide for them, and it's a safe, risk-free environment to try out some different things, try some different flavors of beer. Like one of the things that we're doing tonight is our Brew Club. So a lot of people, this is their first introduction to Vine Park. And what we do is we have 6 brewing kettles that you'll get a chance to see up front. We set up for the whole year. Every Wednesday night we know what we're going to brew that night, and we make that open to the public. So instead of you calling up and saying, hey, I want to make an oatmeal stout tonight, no, you call and say, I want to join the German Mix Brew Club, and we're doing 6 German style beers. Or in August we do a set of 6 different Belgian style beers. And so they come in, and we take the first 12 people that sign up. They might be 12 total strangers at the beginning of the evening, but they get to brew all the beers together. They come back 2 weeks later, bottle it up. We encourage them to do like a potluck party and bring in all kinds of food. They get to bottle, they get to sample, they get to eat their food, they make friends, and then they go home that night. They go home with 6 different kinds of beer. We do everything. You can do your pale ales, we got brown ales, we have porters, stouts, we got wheat beers. We do several traditional unfiltered beers. We have a Bavarian, Hefeweizen, we do a Dunkel version, we do a Belgian Wit. And it's been just very fun to watch people come in and explore the beers. In 2008, we got our microbrewer's license. So now we brew once a week on our system when the doors are locked and the customers aren't here. So we get to back to being brewers ourselves instead of just helping. And so we do that. And in Minnesota now we can sell those in the half-gallon growler jugs. So up front, we call ourselves Minnesota's Nano Brewery. To be under the microbrewery line, it's 2,500 barrels. We do about 80 barrels a year. And it is hand brewed. Vorlofing is one guy on his knees passing a pitcher up to a guy on a ladder who's pouring it in the top and going around and round and doing it. We do either a 2-barrel or 3-barrel batch, and everything we can produce sells right out of the reach-in cooler in the front.
Pretty clean pitch, I think. Good pitch.
It's the difference when you get home and somebody comes over and you're going to offer them some store-bought cookies or stuff you baked yourself. How do you feel about that? And that's how they feel when they go home with their beer. That's their beer. They're proud of it. They made it. It isn't about what somebody who's an expert thinks. It's about how you feel inside when you make your own product. And we try to help people feel that way.
Come and visit us on the web. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Introduction to Extract Home Brewing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, and our latest edition, Introduction to Wine Kits. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to james@basicbrewing.com, steve@basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
What? Who's honking at me?